All right. How's that? Yeah, you know what I did? You want to know what a fucking idiot I am? I never changed my microphone for my headset. So my headset, which is all the way on the stand over there, is what you were hearing me through. So yeah, call me a fucking idiot. Thank you, Andrea. That was like super blonde dumb move 101. Do I think Lee Harvey Oswald actually shot Kennedy? Yeah, I do actually. What happened was I was an idiot. I know, right? No, you see this nice little, this glass? It's a nice glass that I got from Sephora for makeup that I bought. You get a free glass. Thank you, Dimple. Yeah, it was really pretty dumb what I just did. It was like dumb. Oh, Kathy, you're right. It was Ulta. Because we were in Ulta and Sephora. Thank you, Monica. It is nice. Like, I thought it was plastic, but it's glass. Microphone looks like a naked button bend over. All right, Sean. Sean, again, I am so sorry that I totally forgot to pay you and Lisa. I had the other two paid immediately. And because you guys didn't give me your email addresses right away, I completely forgot about it until like 2 days ago. I was like, oh my God, I forgot to pay them. So again, I apologize. "9/11 rabbit hole on her birthday." Yeah, no 9/11 tonight. We can talk about anything else. No conspiracy theories. For your gift, I became... Ah, thanks, Tim. That is a good birthday gift. And as everyone else knows, Patreon is so new to me. I'm learning it. So I know there's a lot of stuff I can do with it. So just bear with me over the next couple of days till I figure it all out. Do you listen to rap? No, I hate rap. I'm a total rock girl. Oh, by the way, guys, I'll let you guys know first. I don't know if you guys know who he is or not, but do you guys know who Brandon Maddox is? Anyway, he's a country singer. Your necklace is showing the background. It's magical. It is, right? Well, I'm interviewing him on January 9th. He's going to do his song for Making a Murderer that he wrote for Making a Murderer, which I actually fell in love with, even though I hate country. And I spoke to him about it, and I'm going to interview him. He's going to play the song live, and it should be a really good interview. I really liked him. And if you guys haven't heard the song, I'll play it later. It's really good. Do I listen to metal? Yeah, Jeremy, I do. He is cute, right, Tracy? I agree. Do any of your exes live in Texas? No. Oh, Valerie, then you like his stuff. So he's got a bunch of songs, but this song, like, it's just really good. So my advertising for him is like, country music star. So it'll be a good time. Hey, James. I'm all right. How do I say this right? I like 80s metal, but I don't like 80s metal now. Motley Crue was my favorite band growing up, but I like Motley Crue in the 80s. I don't like any band now who wants to still do 80s music. Like, it's time to evolve. Thanks, Spice. So that's really where it's at. Like, I love 80s rock, but I like music that evolves too. Right, Kathy? If you had to choose between Ken Kratz, Stephen Avery to date, who would it be? That's a tough one. I'd probably go celibate in either one of them. Dr. Feelgood was a great album. I loved White Lion. The video you put out about the information. The reason why, let me explain. The reason why I put out the video is that James Max brought it to me and put it in uncensored, and he was like, I don't understand this. So after reading it, I realized like where people are getting confused. And I know Shauna, which I want to talk about it. I know she said she was going to come tonight, so I kind of want to wait for her before I start explaining it, because she was one that was really, really confused about it. I agree. Well, actually, it's not true, Tattoo Drama. There's some good music out. Not a lot, but there's some good music. It's going to be one of those nights. I'm confused too still. Thanks, Irikos. James, I know it kind of sounds confusing, but it's really not. The numbers are what confused everybody, but the numbers are nothing more than just the order that it went in. They really mean nothing. Like if I said nothing about the numbers, it may be less confusing, but the numbers were just confusing everybody. Hey, TC, finally, you're back for my birthday. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa, where do you live, by the way? Kratz already has the perfect woman for him. Ain't that true? That is true. So it's Canada. That's why the money difference was so different. They do deserve each other, hands down. But honestly, if you guys have any questions on the video that I put out, go for it and ask me. Because that's why I did the video, really to lay it out the way that it would, more people would understand it. There are a bunch of people from Ohio. I agree with that. Wisconsin in the house. Thank you, Casbat. You share your birthday with my hubby. Oh, it's your hubby's birthday, Tom. Happy birthday. It must be the day honest people are born on. That's right. I get a little confused with the ledgers and stuff, but I plan on re-listening. 35 looks good on you. Thanks, Letha. Don't let the numbers confuse you, though, or the ledgers. In a nutshell, all it means is just the sequential order that they were put in. It's really not as confusing as it sounds. But, I mean, whoever did it, does anyone know who that even is? Because that is, like, phenomenal work. And, like, a lot of work. I don't know if it's male, female. Like, I don't know who it is. It could be somebody that hates my guts. I have no idea. But it was absolutely phenomenal work. Oh, you couldn't find it? Hey, Tara. So Tara's brand new to MAM. After, what have I known you, Tara, like 6 months already? She finally got started watching it, and she's all pissed off because of Brendan and everything else. And it's so cute to see somebody who's so brand new, never watched any episode of it until recently. She's like, I want to throw my phone at my TV. It's funny. What I got from it, evidence was manipulated by using tag or evidence numbers. James, kind of. The overall of those numbers of what they were saying is that when you have a crime scene, you have to group things in certain order. So like everything that happened in the bedroom should be grouped and dated for stuff in the bedroom, and they should be in sequential order. Everything that happened in the garage should be in sequential order and listed in the garage, and the dates and everything else. And in every crime scene, according to what he was saying, in every crime scene that he's done, my video just went bad now. In every crime scene that he's ever done, everything was listed in sequential order. And for some reason, Manitowoc is not in sequential order. It's all over the place. Jeremy, I don't know. And I thought of that too. Like, they repackaged like 15 to 30 different things of blood. And I was like, maybe that's where they got the blood from? Like, that to me was a little weird. There are no timestamps on the evidence gathered from Bobby's computer. There's a lot of stuff that was left out, but I don't think he was focusing on Bobby's computer. I think he was more focusing on the actual, like, what was collected, and the dates didn't match up and nothing matches up. So it was just really interesting. Like, well, yeah, Valerie, they absolutely should have taken pictures of the bones, hands down. Aw, Nene. So since my Patreon people know this already, because they get first dibs and stuff, but one thing that I learned today, which I did not know, that Netflix, this is going to be a mind blower for some of you. Some of you might know this. I did not know this. Ericos, if you're still here, I don't even know if you know this. Netflix owns Brendan and Brendan's rights. That before anything happened, before MAM was ever aired, Netflix bought Brendan's story and Brendan's rights. Did anybody else know this? Am I like left in the dirt? Like, I thought I was involved in all the drama at one point. But does anyone else, like, did you guys know this? Allie, did you know that? You knew that. Allie knew that. I thought Allie might. That's what I said, Lisa. Yeah, I just learned this today. Now, that's why I thought maybe Allie would know, because her and Nikos made up. I thought that, Miss Devon, so you're saying it's old news. I had no idea. Thank you, Sarah. Hey, Missy, I saw your Facebook. I have not read it yet, though. But I saw that you did text me. I was on the phone with Amy. Katrina, I don't know. Thank you, Missy. But I could not believe that. I had no idea. And he got paid. Allie, do you know what he was paid? I found out like $5,000 to $10,000 is what I was told. But I also learned that you can only put in $2,900 into commissary. So obviously Barb and Scott got the money. Yeah, that's what I said, Nene. $5,000 to $10,000. That, see, what I've been saying, and I said in Patreon earlier, is that, you know what? This makes Barb look so much worse, because first you sell your son out over Bobby, which is my personal belief, and then you sell your son to Netflix for less than 10 grand. That's what he's worth. Insane. Absolutely insane. Barb didn't even get much for the right. Exactly. At least 6 figures. Obviously didn't get a lawyer involved. No. She got $5,000 to $10,000. Hey, Bob. Probably, yeah, Tim, because when he sold the story, he was an adult. He was a man. He was already an adult. I agree, Nene. $4,000. Amy didn't know. She said it was between 5 and 10. Even $4,000, that makes it even worse. Hey, Lisa. Don't understand how Trump can't get him out Because it's not a federal case. A president can't pardon a state case. They can only pardon federal cases. That's why. Thank you, Ziggy. Yeah, I agree, Nene. $4,000 is even that much worse. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's your son. You couldn't pay me $4,000 to get rights to my son, especially if he was in jail, because if Netflix wanted to buy him, there's a reason that they want to buy my son's rights. They didn't want to buy Stephen Avery's rights, but they wanted to buy Brendan's rights. That to me right there screams dollar signs. You know what? My son's worth $1 million, so pay me. You know, and even then, Barb took it for a new tattoo. You're right. El Chapo will get Brendan now. You might be right. The Colombo crime family. Valerie, that's worse than a low IQ. Because what bothers me about it the most is that your son is in jail because you didn't get a lawyer. Your son is in jail because you didn't do the right thing by him. So now Netflix, this huge multi-million-dollar corporation, is coming to you about your son, and you don't step and think, let me get a lawyer this time around? Like $4,000? Come on. That's what bothers me. Shauna, there you are. I've been holding off talking about last night's video until you got here. And I told everyone that. I got to wait for Shauna because she was confused. What does buying his rights mean? Abba, it means that Netflix, like if anybody tried to make a movie on Brendan, just Brendan, Netflix will stop it because Netflix owns the rights to Brendan's story. It means that nobody can make money off Brendan. Nobody can use Brendan's story without Netflix's approval. Nobody can make a separate movie from Brendan about Brendan. I guess you can write books because Netflix may not own those rights. I don't know. But Netflix can sue anybody who writes a book or anything about Brendan and profits from it. Spicy was actually smart on them, stupid on Barb. Nene, that's what I'm saying. Because Kratz didn't write a book specifically about Brendan. Kratz actually wrote his book about Steven. Brendan was just the after. They bought the rights so that they don't have to pay him long term. But they didn't buy Steven's rights. We're paid for rights, not for any royalties. Barb smoked too much meth to know what was going on. I don't disagree with that, JM. You've been pretty much trolling all night, but I agree with you there. I meant the new doc coming out this year. What new doc, Beck? Oh, they paid Stephen Avery the same? I didn't know they owned Stephen Avery too. I thought it was just Brendan. But they didn't know if it was going to be big or not. Thanks, JM. Also means Avery and Brendan cannot write about themselves. It's crazy. Why would Ellie need to rack? Crazy. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Barb is beyond help. I agree, Karen. Barb is beyond help. Absolutely beyond help. The one Kratz is doing from the Gilder side of things. Can't think what it's called. Oh, the unmaking a murderer or something, or convicting a murderer. Yeah, convicting a murderer. But you have to remember, though, he's very focused on Steven, not Brendan. Thanks, Yelly. No, but, what's his name? Brendan agreed to. Hey, Derek, but Brendan agreed to it. He wasn't 16 at the time he sold the rights, though. He was already over 18. Thanks, Beck. Yeah, he was only 16 when he got arrested. Netflix didn't care about his life at 16. Kratz is obsessed with Steven, hands down. He did accept it because, I mean, I'm sure Scott and Barb convinced him of it. And they probably told him, don't worry, we'll hold the money. Just like Dolores, I found out, got paid for making a murderer, and so did Barb. Burton's confession is deemed unacceptable. Does that undermine Avery's conviction? Some say yes, some say no. It's Scott owned a 22. Yes, Scott owned a 22. But that's the other thing. The stuff last night about the 223, a gun enthusiast wrote on YouTube that they're completely different sizes and that guy was wrong. And I forgot who it was. Someone said they are almost identical, the same. The difference is the casings are different, but the bullet is exactly the same. Missy, we're talking about a lot of things. Because of the video last night, we're just talking about a lot of different things. But I know a lot of people had a lot of questions about the video I put out. Sean, I completely agree with that. That Barb got a can of Schultz malt liquor and a pack of Cool Menthols. 220 are different. One is rounded. 223 is pointy. Lots of questions about the video. I know, crazy. I will do the best that I can with it because, like I said, it's not my stuff. And I don't know who the author is. But I will do my best. Thank you, TC. TC, you know I also have a Patreon account. It would actually save you money. That I started a Patreon. Yes, we're still having the birthday bash. This is the birthday bash. But Beck, someone said the bullet itself is not completely different. I don't know. I'm not a gun enthusiast, so I don't know. But thank you so much, TC. But yeah, so I started a Patreon, and it's anywhere from 5 to 20. And still working out the little kinks. But that's like a monthly cost. So you would actually save money with all that you donate. Do you remember your Sweet 16 and what you did? I do remember my Sweet 16. It was at Belterre Country Club, which is actually the neighborhood that Marty Tankliff was raised in. My dad was a member of the country club there, and I had my Sweet 16 there, and it was phenomenal. Tell Chuck thank you, Missy. 22 is rounded, 223 is pointy. You have a 223 and a 556. Both can commonly be fired from the same gun, especially if it's an AR-15 or variant. Do I have pics of my Sweet 16? Not handy. I do somewhere, but not handy. Same kind of amount. What I miss? I try not to miss any texts. I missed it. Oh, she was just talking to Karen. All right. I can't find it. I don't like missing chat. I really don't. I like to be on top of chat. I see so many people like skim through chat and never answer anybody, and it annoys me. Thanks, JM. Did anyone actually verify Bobby Dassey dressing a deer in his garage? Well, actually, Tim, if you think about it, Dietering was the only one that verified it. No, see, JM, the answer is, Don, what did you give? At least I gave $2. That's the answer. That's okay. Anything is totally appreciated. Believe me. 50 cents is totally appreciated. See, but you can't pick on someone else then. Alright, so a 22 caliber can definitely go through a human skull if it is a 223 or a 556. This is like Japanese to me. I fire them through 1-inch steel plates. How do you send money for your birthday? You can just use Super Chat. There should be a little thing. You can send it through PayPal. You can sign up for Patreon. It's any way you want. Likes are free, absolutely. So, PayPal. There's my PayPal. Thanks, TC. I'm telling you, you're going to save money. That's my PayPal address. You can use Patreon, or you can just use the little $sign here and do it through Super Chat. It's totally up to you. Patreon link. Hold on. Patreon is so new. I think it's patreon.com and then /perplexed QT. I'm pretty sure that's it. It's saying $2.79 won't let me put amount in. Jill, I don't know. 223 and 556 are rounds commonly associated with AR-15s. Both are 22 caliber rounds. They could test the other bones to be deer bones in the same pile as the human, then to me that points to Bobby. I agree. Send some more money. We're gonna go half on everything. How are you guys trying? Are you trying to use the little $sign? I don't know. Yeah, I tried to do it myself. It's not allowing it. I think you just hit Super Chat. Yeah, and then you can change the dollar amount. How do I hide this? Oh, there you go. Do you have the link to the Reddit post? It's on my last video. I can pull it up. Give me a moment. What's chat we're looking at on the screen? Do I need to get another platform? No, it's the same chat. It's just a lot of people were telling me, thanks, Kim. A lot of people were telling me that when they play back the video, they can't see the chat and all they can hear is me asking questions. So I added a chat box so this way you guys can see it while you watch the video for people that are watching it after. Doesn't Super Chat keep a majority? You know what it is? They keep 30%, Tracy, but I'm not going to tell somebody how to donate their money. You know, Super Chat is easy. It is. You just hit that $sign and boom. You don't have to open up PayPal. You don't have to go to, sign up for Patreon. You don't have to, you just hit that and go. So I'm never going to tell somebody how they can donate to me. It's whatever's easiest for them. Raise $50 tonight. I'll drive my car into the security post. Yeah, they take 30%. I don't know what Canon.com is. 22 Hornet won't even compare to 223. I know Tracy, and I appreciate it. Just like I said, I'm not one to ever tell somebody how to donate to me. I just think it's tacky. Like, however you want to donate, Like TC, I said something about Patreon because he donates a lot to me a month, but it's so much easier for him to just do Patreon. But I mean, you can do PayPal too. If you already have a PayPal that's set up through your bank, you just use PayPal and it's way easy. What's up, Isaac? Working on 3 different computers. See, Ziggy, you like me. Well, I don't have 3 computers. I have two big monitors. 1 computer. But at 20, yeah, you guys talking guns, I know nothing about guns. Nothing. Let me find that link. Give me 1 second. All right, videos. Oh, now I got sound. All right. All right, here's the link. That's the link that you asked for. Thanks, Christina. Nini, I don't like guns either. You're welcome, Lisa. This party is my birthday party. And I was going to do other stuff, but the truth is, when I put out the video last night, a lot of people were asking a lot of questions about it. And I definitely wanted to answer them. Yeah, I don't know, Mary. I don't like guns. I respect them. I'll agree with that, Beck. I will totally go with that one. Thanks, Isaac. I like guns less than I like my right to have them. I agree with that, Katrina. Laura, if you could pick one celebrity to visit you on your birthday, who? John Travolta. In case you guys don't know, I am the biggest John Travolta fan ever. Ever. Yeah, hold on, Jill. It is my email. One of my emails. 61? All right, Lisa. It is my birthday. I am 48 today. I'm old. And let me just tell you, you don't realize how old you are till you go to a makeup store with a 13-year-old and everyone in there has like perfect makeup because they're all like 21. Then you feel old. It was the first time I really felt old. My cousin knows him really well. Beck, you are my favorite. John Travolta has been my favorite since Vinnie Barbarino. I used to cry to watch him. Randy, I'm 48. I'm only 4 years younger. Thanks, Shauna. That's because my daughter bought me this beautiful palette. Vinnie Barbarino. 43 and have perfect makeup. Thank you, Tracy. But yeah, I am the biggest John Travolta fan. I have been in love with that man forever. And I always said that I was going to have kids with someone with black hair and ice blue eyes, and I did. And his eyes are brown. Not brown, but like hazel. Thanks, Nina. That's why I tell people 35. But yeah, I'm 48. I'm only 2 years away from 50. Oh, Scientology is a joke. It's a big cult. But, like, the core of Scientology is very real. Not the cult, like, not the religion, not any of that. But I studied Scientology in Hollywood just to meet him for, like, 2 years. Never met him. Everyone kept saying, oh, you just missed Johnny. You just missed Johnny. I literally hung out there for, like, 2 years trying to meet him. Could not meet him. But the core of Scientology is just that it's mind over matter, and that you have the power inside you to do whatever you want to do and whatever you want to believe. That's what Scientology's core is. Everything else is junk. Tom Cruise is freak. It is a cult. Nene, I really like him. And yes, at the Celebrity Center. I mean, even though he's old and he's older now, like he's really old, he's just still, I still see Vinnie Barbarino. I think I always will. I'm Sybil, don't know how to send you money through PayPal. Is there a link? Jill, do you have a PayPal account? Ken Kratz is not a Scientologist. Have you watched Liam Ray? No, I haven't. I've watched a couple of movies about it. But, like, the thing with Travolta is he's just so sexy. The way he talks, the way he moves, the way... And yet, like, up until a couple years ago and all those rumors started, I don't even care if the man's gay. But you never hear anybody say anything bad about him. Like, he's not a scammer. He's just a good guy. He was awesome in Grease. His wife is hot. And exactly the way he dances, everything. Ryan, I don't even care if he's gay. I really don't. Grease is so good. That's what I'm saying. He's been in so many movies. He's a nice guy, according to my cousin. Seebeck, give out your short PayPal. All right. I know I do have that. PayPal me or something. Hang on. Let me get it. PayPal me. All right, hang on. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you. Where's that PayPal me? I know I have it. I don't know how to. Here we go. Okay, I guess this is it. All right. How's that? Did that link? When are we going on with Laura again? He's sick. He was supposed to go on with tonight, and he's sick. Here we go. All right, I got it now. There you go. There's the link. Yeah, Ryan was supposed to come on. He said he was dying tonight. I don't even care if John's gay, bisexual. It doesn't matter to me. He's still so incredibly sexy. Why'd you move to Alabama? because they have AAA rated schools, cheap cost of living, decent weather, and affordable housing. You can click on that and even use a credit card. Yep. Ricky Jarvis said stuff about it at one of the award shows. I really moved here for the schools and the cost of living. We have some of the best schools in the nation, and they're really good. Oh, I would never move to Texas, ever. Jamie's here from Norfolk Naval Shipyard with my hot girlfriend Stephanie watching. Well, hello, Jamie and hot girlfriend. And they have alligators. Who has alligators? Thank you, Janelle. John Travolta was in the Stephen King movie Carrie. He was? I didn't know that. Now I have to watch Carrie again. I started hating him, even became critical about everything he did. What? Not where I am. Maybe down like on the bayou. But no, I'm up by Tennessee. Played the boyfriend of the pissed off chick. Oh my God, I have to watch Carrie again because no, I don't remember that. I absolutely don't remember that. Yeah, I'm nowhere near Southern. Hey, Tanya. You're the only 10 I see. Ah, thanks, Don. Crawled into the pig. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. Yeah, he was in Pulp Fiction. I will definitely have to check that out because I don't remember that. He did play Gotti. That was a pretty bad movie, too. So now that, like, everyone is here that told me they didn't understand last night, let's discuss it for a while. Tell me what you guys did not understand about last night's video. I loved him in Hairspray, too. I don't understand anything. That doesn't surprise me, JM. Everything except the filing system. Crazy Noodle, I don't know that answer. I don't know why they would need to repackage everything either on different days. There was a lot of stuff repackaged that didn't seem right to me, but I really don't know that much about it. See, Sean, I was saying that earlier, but I did say I wanted to wait for you. Don't let the numbers confuse you at all, because the numbers are nothing more than just the way they put them in order. Like, you know, if you have inventory, if you own a shop or anything, if you have inventory and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, that's all it was. But they had it in order, like, you know, 519 or 598 or 5,009, and that's where it got confusing. And I have a math disability, so I totally get the confusion. But that was just the way it was written on the paper. Katrina, that's funny. Karen, I 100% agree with you. I don't know how they got away with all that either. What is a reason to repackage a piece of evidence? You know what, Crazy? Let me get that answer. All right, in a quick look. In a very quick look from what I just did, I think it may have been worded wrong. I don't think they repackaged it, like packaged and then repackaged it. I actually think they just packaged it Because when I do a really quick Google search for repackaging, nothing comes up. So I really think it may have just been the wording. Do you see the bullshit that goes on in Wisconsin? Oh, absolutely. Katrina says we use a unit code date number for who filed. And that is what they did. Oh, it's definitely shady police work, Jeremy. There's no doubt about that. Why would they repackage? Like I said, I don't think that it was an actual repackage. I think it may have just been worded like that, but I don't know for sure. But I can't find anything when I do a quick Google search about repackaging. It just says how important packaging is and to write everything correctly. Thanks, Chuck. It's okay, Liza. Thank you so much. Randy was Kardashian. He was one of the Dream Team lawyers. Who? We did Bates numbering. It had the same number throughout the case. Shauna, you're confusing actual numbers and crime scene packaging. And I agree with you. Like, my custody fight is under one number. Anything that happened under that is under that same number. That's not the numbers that they're talking about, though. You're talking about case numbers. This isn't case numbers. This was evidence numbers. Evidence packaging numbers. JM, 2 people donated $20 through PayPal, so they're actually up on you. Well, what kind of stuff, equipment, you also have to document who touches, absolutely. Oh, okay, Tanya. Explain the repackaging. But I gotta grab my pad first. All right, let her grab the iPad. Who? JM? He's fine. He's just being funny. Thank you, Ryan. I'm just seeing all these texts. Oh, Jill, you still didn't, the text still didn't work? Nah, she's just checking, Miss JM. Missy, that's the thing. You'll learn who to read through, who's like a real troll. If he was a real troll, I wouldn't be answering him. Bear with me a moment. Since you guys always said I'm determined, Jill's determined. All right, back. He was in, yes, he was in Look Who's Talking. He was in a lot of things. Because he's a cutie patootie. Where was the rag fan again? Sorry, I'm at work. I can't look it up. Which rag? The bloody rag? There's a lot of different things. Thanks, Mary. I see that, Jill. There was one found. All right, so here's the thing. Are we talking about last night where the bloody rag was found? Because I found the most interesting part of the entire evidence was the green Jeep that was in their back with the 3 blood spots behind it, and the blood that was found in Avery's car, I found that the most interesting. Like, forget the numbers in the sequential sequence. That was a big eye opener for me. That was like, whoa. That to me was just evidence that was undeniable. Like, why were there two unknown sources of blood or fingerprints or whatever in Avery's car? The Jeep, that's what I'm saying. It never said who drove that Jeep. This is the first I even ever heard of this Jeep. I don't even know where the Jeep came from, but I guess it's in Mama and Avery's their third garage or something. That's what I got out of it. Jeep was in the lot or in the garage? The guy said it was in some red garage. It's probably Shauna because the one on... Let me see. Which one's delayed? Oh, no, it's not delayed. Actually, if my voice is delayed, that chat's probably delayed too. Jeep was in a bay, not in the lot. That's what I got gathered from it too. Near as I can tell, the only time evidence is repackaged is if it is liquid and it has to be done within 2 hours or becomes contaminated and cannot be used as reliable evidence at that point. You're not losing it, Shauna. Didn't you find strange Bobby crushed his vehicle? I find a lot of things Bobby did strange. Like, no joke. Me too till he typed it. There it is again, Shauna. Hey, wait. I see a link. Hey, that's weird. That's really weird, though. And now I see what you guys are talking about. Your comments are showing, but something showed up on here that was very strange, and it's not in here. That's so weird. I can't go back on... Maybe I can. No, I can't go back on the one on chat. It's just weird. Something she said that I couldn't find in the chat. So weird. Oh, you guys don't see it on YouTube like normal? You should see it on YouTube like normal. I didn't know you guys only see it on the screen. All right, here we go. Tanya's back. Officers A, B, and C are out investigating. As they gather evidence, they bag and tag it. And then they keep gathering. At the end of the shift, they all go back to command center and log in. Can I friend you, Laura? Yes, you can friend me. I haven't just yet, to respect your privacy. It's okay. You can friend me. See, Lee, I guess it depends what you're looking at. What kind of device you're using. Thanks, D. Are you guys on desktops, laptops, or phones? No, you shouldn't get that. That's weird. Jill, where are you located? Because PayPal is up. All right. I chat on YouTube on the screen and I'm on my phone. All right. Yeah, I don't think it's working. Because it should move and stuff and it's not. You could see it bubbling doing something. I think it's broken. That's probably my favorite green screen. Thanks. Alright, so some of you guys can see both. See both on my phone. Yeah, I know, Britt. I just couldn't remember your first name. Of course it's my house, Nini. I have a whole studio behind me. I wish. It was my birthday present. Nah, it's not my house. It's just a screen. Thanks. I have a wall behind me with a green screen. Yeah, right? Because I got it like that. No, no, it's just a green screen. I wish that was my studio behind me. Thanks, Falcon. I knew Falcon would make an appearance. So Steve, then I'm Steve. Sorry. So Tanya, I was right then that they don't actually mean repackaging; they just mean packaging, right? Thank you, Britt. Is that accurate? Am I right about that? Thanks, KG. Hey, Kyra. Oh, by the way, Allie, since you're here, I don't think Urikos is here, but tell him congratulations on the 5,000. I meant to tell him earlier, but he was like on and off so quick. Hey, Kyra. No, I'm not right. All right, so can you explain more? How many candles are you putting, or are you allowed? Oh, there you are, Ericos. Congrats on the 5,000. It's a good feeling. I know he is still here. I'm shocked. Tanya, is they collecting the evidence? Are they writing on initial bag where they found it? Yeah, so Tanya, it sounds like you know about this. So explain to me then, because when a bunch of us just did some searches on it and can't figure out what it means. The officers in the field gather evidence and bag it and tag it. That's what I said. Then it goes to Command Central. And then bag and retag it into main. Aha! All right. So to sum that up, because I know I read that really weird. To sum that up, so all the evidence is there. They take it from the crime scene. They bag it, tag it, do whatever they have to do. Then it goes to the command center. Then when it has to go to wherever it needs to go, like the labs or wherever, the main office, wherever it goes, then they have to re-tag it. Did I get that one right? How does it keep the same number? I'm going to take a long shot at this, Shauna. But it would keep the same number because even though they're retagging it, it still has to be the same number because it's the same evidence, I think. The retag means it gets a new number? I don't think so, but I don't know. It is given the number at Central Command. All right, so then it is given a new number. Oh, it's not a new number. It never had a number in the first place. Right? Am I right about that? So, all right. So if I understand this correctly, I think I got this now. I think. So they collect everything at the crime scene. Nothing is tagged or numbered or anything. They just collect everything in bags. Then they send it to the command center. Yeah, where it was found and stuff. Then they send it to the command center. Then that's when they actually tag it, retag it, whatever, because technically they're repackaging it. And then put numbers on it and send it to crime labs or wherever it needs to go. Correct? $4.8 Falcon. All right, so I got it. And command center was set up at the Avery Salvage Yard. Okay, now I totally get it. So, if anybody doesn't totally get it, here it is in a nutshell. Command center was set up at Avery's house. That's where, on Avery property, that's where the command center was. So all of the so-called evidence that they found, they collected and brought it to the command center, which is at Avery's house. Then from the command center, they had to repackage everything, put everything together, do the ledgers and everything else, put everything together, label it, mark it, and then send it off where it needed to go. I think I got that totally straight. Am I right, Tanya? I think I just nailed that. So does that mean nothing fishy was going on with the evidence? Actually, no. It could still mean it was fun because, think about it. Let's just say, for argument's sake, they did plant evidence, okay? So let's say they planted evidence of the key, all right? When they go, or not even the key, let's say a bone or some DNA or something. When they go to send it out, they can easily remark it as something that it wasn't. And then I think that's what the guy was talking about last night, or what the guy was saying in that Reddit, is that everything was out of sequence. So if you're going to send stuff to the main center from the garage, let's say, then everything from the garage needs to be numbered in sequential order, and everything from the garage needs to be exactly how it is. Like, you can't take something from inside Avery's trailer and mark it with the stuff from the garage on a different date. Tanya, I'm sorry, not Tanya, Falcon, I laid it out so easily last night that if you didn't get it, I'm starting to worry about you, Falcon. Is it normal to have the command center at the same location as the crime? On a big crime on property like that, I'm going to guess yes, but I can't say for sure. Evidence collected is only as accurate documentation of when and where. Agreed. Bullet point it. All right, Falcon. I don't think you not... I think what you don't think you understand is the meaning of it or how important it was. If you're going by the blood that they found or that they talked about, I'm not even going to go there because that's like huge. But you're a smart guy. I know you understood that part. But as far as what I'm talking about now is all the repackaging. Is there's so many things that were out of sequential order that when you have a crime scene, it is so important to keep it in sequential order. And for some reason, so many things were mismatched and marked wrong and dates were wrong. And it wasn't just like one or two. There were a lot of different things. So the guy or girl, whoever wrote it, sat there and, cross-checked which ones were right and which ones were wrong and where everything was out of sequence. It was a lot of work. I give props to whoever did it. I mean, that had to take time. You seem to have a really cool job, Tanya. Tanya's great, and she makes the best cookies in the world. You also read that they had numbers tags, but they had renumbered. It's still a bit confusing. The logic of the numbering was baffling. I agree. But they obviously got it straight by the time of the trial. That's so not true, Falcon. So not true. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I watched a podcast today that was from two forensic scientists who both believe Stephen Avery's guilty. So it doesn't matter what the podcast is. But they said a lot of things that were really good. Even they said that there is no possible way that it happened the way the prosecution laid it out. In any which way, shape, or form. From the car to like nothing. And that's from people who believe he's guilty. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I agree with a lot of what they were saying. But my point is that even guilters, forensic scientists, say there is no possible way that any of it happened the way the prosecution said it happened. That says a lot. The narrative plus any of the evidence. It is almost impossible for most of the evidence to be proven. What is everyone thinking of Malpractice suit against Zellner? I'm surprised Laura hasn't posted a video on this yet. Malpractice suit, you mean from Colburn? What malpractice suit? I don't mess with those things. Tomorrow, Falcon. No, but I mean, all bullshit aside, this podcast was good. I mean, it was really good. It was interesting. Does it make sense now why they brought TH control items to SA Command Center? Crazy, that's an excellent point, and you're 100% right. It does make sense now. The reason why Ryan and everyone was bringing stuff there because it was a control center. That's a good point. By the way, I have an announcement that this podcast really got me thinking, and they're right. So remember the other day I did a video on Zellner, and I am so not rah-rah Zellner, and everyone's trying to tell me she's got something up her sleeve and everything else, and I'm at the point I'm like, no, she doesn't. I figured it out. Well, I didn't figure it out, but I kind of figured it out. I don't think she has something up her sleeve. But what I do think she's doing is, and I'm 100% convinced of this, and it makes perfect fucking sense, is that she's just creating as much reasonable doubt as possible because everybody who is listening in the MAM world, everybody who's out there, could be a potential juror. So all her tweets, all her everything, she's never going to prove. She probably doesn't even believe in half of them, but she's creating reasonable doubt. So if and when she gets Avery a new trial, she will guarantee that she will win on reasonable doubt. Bingo. It was brilliant. I finally got it. Karen, wasn't it really interesting? But that's what her big sleeve is. She's creating reasonable doubt to the masses. She has a malpractice suit from an exoneree. No, I did not know that. I will... Britt, do you have a link to it or anything? Spicy, you mean the podcast? It's kind of, I wrote them an email and would love to get them on for an interview because they weren't assholes. They weren't like, oh, she sucks or this and that. They gave credibility to all of her witnesses. They were really nice to listen to. Karen, Tanya, you guys agree with me? Like, they were nice to listen to. No birthday suit. Hey, Jill. Let me find a link. But I hate passing around guilters. All right.
Before we get back into the making a murder,
there's 3 videos. The one I have up is number 3. I haven't even seen number 3. I think number 3 is about Brendan. But the ones I saw were 3 of them. Exactly, Tim. I just gave it to you. It's long. They're like 3 hours. I was getting ready early and I was listening to it and I came across it accidentally. Tracy, right? Isn't it good? Like, I really found it interesting. But I am also I know nothing about forensic science at all. And, they just were really good. And when they were talking about that, about Zellner, all the reasonable doubt she's creating, I'm like, that's it. That's the thing she's got up her sleeve, is creating reasonable doubt, because any one of us can be a juror. Duh. Why didn't I think of this? You're welcome, Spice. Don't watch it now, though, because like 3 hours. But I found it really, really interesting. Leathery. Thanks, Julie. Latherly boy. What is he suing her for? Is it like a legit lawsuit? So all her tweets and everything that are like so over the top, yeah, she's creating reasonable doubt. Who knows who's going to be on a jury? She's doing exactly what Kratz did in the opposite form, and she's doing it genius, like a genius. So I apologize. I'm still not rah-rah Zellner, but I apologize that I didn't see that. And I don't know how I didn't see that, because I should have seen that. But that's the magic she's got under her hat, is she's doing exactly what Kratz did in opposite. Why would he sue her if she got him off? Yeah, I don't get that either. I guess we have to look, Katrina. We're asking Falcon questions like he knows. Oh, yeah, it was just posted like 13 hours ago. Oh, I get it. Okay, so in a nutshell, he's suing Zellner for malpractice. He's suing Zellner for malpractice because it's 20 for not winning civil rights suit. That's a retarded thing, though. He has no idea what the courts would have given him. So that's dumb. And on top of that, those lawsuits take years. He just got out 2 years ago. But it seems that she like kind of forgot about him when she got hired on Stephen Avery. They do make a podcast. That's where it hit me from. That's why I said it's kind of, I didn't come up with it totally on my own, but I did because when they said it, I said, that's it. That's the magic up her fucking sleeve that I have not been able to figure out and didn't give her credit for. But that's it. That's all she's doing. She's creating reasonable doubt. And she's very smart the way she's doing it. Did you ever find out if they're out for it? No, Shauna, I'm glad you brought that up. Because I had a lot of people slam me for it, saying like, oh, of course the TV uses a fake picture. We don't know that. We can't confirm that. So anyone who's bashing me saying like, oh, well, we know it's a fake picture. No, you don't know it's a fake picture. You don't know if Ryan gave him that car. You don't know if that's a picture of our car. Could the news put it up? Of course they can. Could it just be somebody else? Of course it can. But it could be that picture too. So you would think that if they're looking for that car, they would use the car that actually Teresa has. But that's just a guess. But that's all I want to say on that aspect. Read the summary judgment from the district court in that case, and you want something to blow your hair back. I haven't read it yet. I still Falcon though. They were Shauna, but there was none of a car. I checked. The news report shown in MAM says RAV4 similar to the one in the picture. Oh, okay, Tracy. All right, so then it's not. Then it was a stock one. But I didn't know. And I said that in the video. I said, I don't know if it's a real car or not, but if it is, blah, blah, blah. A very bad week for the clown with her boy Sue Zellner. That's what I'm saying, Phyllis. I don't see how he can possibly sue. I honestly don't. Like, who is he to sue anybody? Like, you don't know if you would have even won in court. You can't say definitively, yes, you're going to win. You have no idea if you're going to win. Not everyone gets money. Hi, Maldoros. Thank you. Happy G-Day? The article I'm reading says he has a history of suing his attorneys after the fact. Nice. Oh, you know what it is? I just figured it out, guys. With the links, I just figured it out. Because you can't share links on YouTube chat, those links are showing up on the other chat. That's why you guys are seeing posts on one and not on the other. Who do you think hit and killed Ricky Hosletter? I think it was Kasorik. He needs to go back to jail? Yeah, I think so. Hey, Chris. Chris loves YouTube. Zellner's conduct was more or less excoriated by the court. Change my name on YouTube to match. Shauna, it's probably not something you would have noticed unless... Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed that either. Why wasn't the blood you mentioned in the video? I agree, Shauna. I totally agree with that. I don't know why it wasn't a bigger part of it. I honestly don't. But that's freaky. I mean, that's big. In my opinion, that's pretty huge. And I don't know why it wasn't more of important. I'm not spraying. No, you're not. That's what it is. You can't see. It doesn't show up on this chat, but it does show up on this chat. Whoop. See, Nene, I'm able to move my whole screen. My whole background. But yeah, Tim, I'm pretty convinced it was Kosarik that hit him, and killed him. Mike O. Blood, very possible. Mike O., Bobby, Scott, very possible. That was some really, really interesting shit, though. That matched to nobody in the Avery family. They didn't say it didn't match to Dassey family, but they said nobody in the Avery family. Wife of the girls. Missy, that's old. But yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, that's old. You know, and that's another thing that a lot of people seem to get confused on. Avery is not Dassey. The Avery household is not the Dassey household, and vice versa. So if they say that it was Avery's blood and it didn't belong to anybody in the Avery family, they never said it didn't belong to anybody in the Dassey family. Did they have Bobby blood on file? They did. Because remember, Crazy, I did a video on this last week. And I don't know why I remember it so well. Like, it's sticking out to me that on November 7th at 7:08 at night, I can't even believe I remember this, 7:08 at night on the 7th, Judge Fox signed the order to have Bobby's fingerprints and everything else. They didn't do anything until the 9th after everything was already found and Avery was arrested. I just did a video on that last week. Remember that blood near found? I asked why would have been given more attention. But Shauna, they didn't care about it being Avery's blood. It didn't matter to them it was Avery's blood. They wanted Avery, period. So it, to them, didn't matter what they found, didn't matter what blood they found. It just didn't matter. Ryan is shady. I just don't think Ryan's the killer. By the way, everyone knows I lost Fluffernutter Butter to my daughter. For some reason, he's obsessed with my daughter now and wants to be with her all the time. The scratches on Bobby's back, which was proven not to be puppy scratches, makes it even more suspicious. I agree. Very shady indeed, Shauna, and cocky as hell. Dietering was cocky as hell. Dietering and Bobby interactions blow my mind. Fluffer is a trait of spicy. He barks at my daughter's door at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Did the blood in the car or the red shed or the rag match each other at all? Or just none of the 3 blood spots were identified? Crazy, the first time that I ever heard about these blood spots was in this thing the guy wrote. I don't remember hearing about or reading about other blood spots or these 3 behind the Jeep or this green Jeep. Now, again, I didn't mess with the transcripts all that much in detail, so I can't say for sure. But yeah, I don't know what that blood was or the green Jeep was. Shauna, that's because he's with my daughter. Yeah, he's not even in his bed. He's with her. I think because I'm in front of my computer too much. He feels lost. Seems more like Bobby, but Ryan is just stuck. Ryan, to me, like I've always said, he is part of the cover-up. Hands down, 100%, he's part of the cover-up. But fucking, there wasn't blood all over. That was the whole point. I know, right? I do need more Scooby snacks. Police seemed to hone in on Bobby so quickly when he was still such a likely suspect. I agree with you. I know he still loves me, but he really loves my daughter, like big time. It would be interesting to see if M.O. pinged at the same place as Bobby. M.O. Oh, Mike. Yeah, Mike. See, but Mike lied too. Mike said that he wasn't there after the 10th. He wasn't there before the 10th, which we already know was a lie. And, you know, the whole bullshit with Steven saying that, you know, or Bobby saying, do you know how to get rid of a body? That was Mike that actually said that, not Steven. And they turned it around. And why did Kratz not put Mike on the stand? I mean, there's just so many lies from that. Like, and that's another thing that I thought about last night. And this is totally like theory. Like, there's no evidence to back this up. What if Mike was the planner? Because if Mike was the planner, he was never put on the stand. He was never questioned about it. Nobody ever checked his fingerprints. There were unknown fingerprints taken on the car. Well, he would actually be the unknown fingerprints because if he had never been arrested, then right there he's a suspect. Kratz, they never talked to him. They never questioned him. He was Bobby's best friend who went hunting with him every day. So why did they take it at face value? Why did they not fingerprint him? Why did they not run anything on him? That is why I'm also thinking maybe Mike is the planner and maybe Mike owned a green Jeep. I'm not sure. Are you saying it was blood collected at ASY that wasn't tagged in sequence? That is exactly what I'm saying, Falcon. Now, I don't know if it was blood. It was a bunch of different things that weren't in sequence. Right, Mama? Like, he would be the perfect person to be the planner because nobody was fingerprinting him. Do you know the guy that posted all that stuff? I'm trying to find him, Missy. I don't know who it is. Lisa, I agree with you. And it was like everybody just took him. I don't know what Mike had, honestly. But everybody just took him at face value, and Kratz didn't want to put him on the stand. Like, he wanted Mike away from it. But if you find unknown fingerprints, and Bobby said he goes hunting with Mike every single day, and Mike had this conversation with Avery, that makes Mike a witness. So why not put him on the stand? Why not get his fingerprints? Why not do the same testing that you would do on anyone else? Wasn't on one of the flyovers. That's what they said. I briefly remember that Mike's white Jeep or something was in the flyovers. And that's why, like, they said that he wasn't there since the 10th, but it was a lie. I briefly remember that. Falcon, and ask him questions like, how long did it take you to do this research? What made you do this research? You know, what else did you come up with from this research? That kind of stuff. Normal questions. Missy, I did. I tried putting it out there. I don't know who it is, though. And nobody else seems to know who it is. Thanks, Isla. No, Mike? Falcon, what do you mean? Mike, when I made my video about Mike, he changed his Facebook. He closed down his Facebook. Mike knows I've been on to him for 2 years. Bobby could have been driving TH Rab and Mike the white Jeep, and one of the witnesses said they saw. I don't know. I could be totally way off. But why would Bobby drive Teresa's car? Like, I always found that, like, one of these dots that didn't connect. Like, why would he drive Teresa's car? Where was he driving it to? Like, why not just kill her in your own car? Thanks, Britt. But to relocate it, but who was picking him up? Like, how was he getting back? I don't know. It just seemed like just something that didn't connect with me. Like, why would he drive her car? Katrina, that's possibly a good scenario, too, that he didn't plan that far ahead. I will agree with that. Oh, look who shows up. Thank you, Max Cobra. Because she was in the back of her car. Yeah, but why not just put her body in your own car? Like, I just don't know why drive her car. What if he got pulled over? Like, to me, it would be way too risky to drive a car in the middle of the day with a dead body in the back. Call me crazy, but to me, that's just a little bizarre. Max Cobra was supposed to be on here. And he couldn't get a laptop or something. If she puts her in his car, she puts DNA and blood in the car. True, but what if he got pulled over? I mean, a RAV4 is open. It's not like, you had a trunk that you can hide her in. Like, that shit's open. Puts her in his car. And meanwhile, they never even checked his damn car. His DNA might have been left in her car. It wouldn't matter if he got pulled over in his car or her car. True. He was thinking he could dump it in the pond. I don't know. It just seemed weird to me. If he's got but it was like an open car, Like, I have a Kia Soul. I couldn't hide a dead body in the back. And even my windows are tinted, I still couldn't hide a dead body if I got pulled over. True, too. Cuss Road is quite hidden. So better hers than his. True. Ziggy's a girl, Max Cobra. Not just that, but she's a law-abiding citizen. True. I don't think she was killed right away, maybe knocked down, killed later. I think it was Bobby wanting to get him some. I don't know. It's the one piece of this I can't figure out what was the motive? There's 1,000 different scenarios for motive. But something in my gut tells me there's more to this that we don't know yet. I don't know what it is. I don't know what Bobby's hiding. But I just think there's something more than meets the eye. And I don't think it'll ever be discovered. I honestly don't. I don't think Zellner's going to go after it. We know the cops aren't going to go after it. Just something about it feels like something just isn't right. Ziggy's female, Ziggy is male. There you go. Those are kind of decisions you make after the fact when you're panicking and you have a calmer person talking to. Okay, you need to do this with the body. I know it just seems weird. Exactly, crazy. There's just something that we're missing that I can't put my finger on it. I can't say what's missing. Just something is missing. And I will never, ever know. And Chris, it's funny that you said that, because I thought of that earlier too. And we were coming home from dinner. I thought to myself, you know what? Steven has no motive. Like, what would be his motive for killing Teresa? He never made any real sexual advances at her. He never threatened to kill it. Well, he may have threatened to kill someone, but it wasn't violent like that with strangers. Yeah, he was violent with his girl, but he wasn't violent with strangers. Like, he was never arrested for, I guess he was, but you guys know what I'm saying about this. Like, he just had no motive to do it. They are, Mama. I'm telling you, they are. I can't put my finger on it, though, but it's something. It's not as easy or cut and dry as anyone's making it. There's some underlying thing that we don't know. Just like my big brain fart about, Zellner's rabbit. Like, it was like, hit me like a ton of bricks. Damn, that's what it is. Same kind of feeling. Like, I could see that and planning to put it in his truck and then go, no, you got to get rid of it this way. You need to move the body. It's very possible. Why does anyone kill for the thrill? But a thrill kill, he would have done it again. And there's no proof that he has. He could have. He could be, some serial killer, which I had said. But we just don't know. Hence won't come anywhere near me. I don't know why. He came to like 1 or 2 videos. He will not come near me. Falcon he's so confused. He doesn't know if he is or he's not. Ditch the car on the freeway and get a ride with your friend back to your truck. Your friend either meaning Scott or Mike. Was there anything to prove BODs? I remember from 2 years ago or 3 years ago that Bobby Del Pot or something and and Teresa was buying it. That's what I remember. I agree, Mike. Mike could have followed. Absolutely. Falcon, you don't have to be a believer in Avery, but you have to be a believer in the injustice. There is so much, even at this point, without Zellner, there is so much reasonable doubt that you can't believe that they got an honest trial because neither one of them did. That's the problem. I adopted a pit a few months ago. She was abandoned in an apartment as a puppy. She's not food aggressive, but I believe she's starting to become. I just bought dog trainer clickers to train. Ah. Because Liza, it's true. I'm a big, big believer on that. There isn't an ounce of doubt in my mind. Falcon. If a put deal was going on, so much more makes sense and comes together. Has Bobby had any trouble with the law since all this happened? No, he hasn't, actually. At which point you see the blood and then decide, get some of that, go back to the Rev and put the blood in there and then go home. Possibly. Max Cobra, now you think he's guilty? I'm telling you, it's gotten to the point. Well, we know how you feel, Dirk. It's gotten to the point, though, and I've said this before. I will say it again. I will say it till I'm dead. The injustice that took place is what is vitally important here. The fact that even guilters will tell you, like real, like forensic scientists will say that nothing happened the way the prosecution did it. Our justice system cannot be built where we put people in prison no matter what. I understand, yeah, even if you think they're guilty, even if I thought Stephen was guilty, he still doesn't belong in jail because of the way our justice system is set up and the way our justice system is built. You just can't have this. You cannot have, prosecutors take the same crime and, charge people two different ways for the exact same crime. You can't tell Stephen that he burned her to death, and yet he wasn't charged with manipulation of a corpse, but Brendan was. When Brendan, they don't have any DNA on. The whole thing is preposterous. I agree, Shauna. Justice should scare everybody. And Dassey, at the very least, helped burn the body. So if Bobby was the killer and now he's a law-abiding citizen. Well, Joe, it's funny that you say that, because if you look at Scott Haddock's history, Scott Haddock has been arrested numerous times. He was in and out of jail. He was a violent man. He was constantly being arrested. As of 2005, the man has had not even a traffic ticket. Since 2005. You think that's coincidence? I think not. Not only is he not have a traffic ticket, if you look at his record, he did have like some, he was being sued for bankruptcy or something like that, like some credit card thing. But as far as a violent history, traffic tickets or anything, there is nothing on his record since 2005. That speaks volumes. Derek, how would he actually be actively bleeding? Okay, Chris, this was said, I'm going to address this for a second. This was said in the podcast that I was talking about earlier about the actively bleeding. Very, very interesting point that they said. I don't know if I agree with it, but it's interesting that in the in MAM2 and what they're all talking about, that Avery was actively bleeding. And that's why it would be impossible not to have blood on the steering wheel or blood on certain spots, because he was actively bleeding. But nobody said that he was actively bleeding, except Zellner when she questioned the head guy, the guy that on MAM2. And I found that point really interesting, because then it goes back to what is considered actively bleeding. Did it have to be gushing? Because to me, if you have any kind of blood spot, it's actively bleeding. So I kind of disagree with them there, but what I took from it was the wording, is that you have to think to yourself, what is actively bleeding, in order to get a proper answer to the blood in the RAV4. If I explain that well enough, I hope so. But I thought it was a really interesting point. Maybe Barb made him an honest man. That must be it. So my fingers prawn did it. Janelle, I completely agree with that. I would say sorry about wiping the blood first. I agree. Kratz said what? About the actively bleeding? And I hope you're right, Jennifer. I'm going to look for that. I hope you're right. Because that was the one thing that this podcast people were kind of eliminating. Saying that if it was actively bleeding, then yeah, you're 100% right. It would be everywhere. But if it wasn't actively bleeding, like these two forensic scientists say it was not actively bleeding, that's why it was only spotted in certain spots, which really makes perfect sense. But if it Kratz said, then again, it's the narrative that's completely wrong. And I was upset with his cousin. It's because he said bad things about him. In the closing, He was actively bleeding where Piggy's aimed at. Unbelievable. Yep. That's why Kratz said it then. So thank you, Chad. And that fits in perfectly with another part of the injustice is that if Kratz said that he was actively bleeding and he wasn't actively bleeding, and it's already been disproven that he couldn't have been actively bleeding the way Kratz said it, it further escalates the injustice that took place and why Avery doesn't, like another piece of the puzzle just fit of why he doesn't belong in jail. ST hasn't gotten in trouble with the law because 1, he helped LE. 2, he doesn't want... Oh, I totally agree, Fun. Absolutely agree with that. Yeah, accused Bobby of murder, hypocritical. How did Cut heal so fast? Supposedly, I heard this a couple of days ago. Supposedly, he didn't know how it got cut open again. But I mean, the bottom line, it was a pretty nasty cut. You work in a junkyard, you work with metal, you work with knives, you work with guns. Of course it might get cut open. The lack of blood in the RAV4 could be wiped away while missing some spots. Explains TH having none of her own prints on the steering wheel. Actively bleeding out of a syringe in a cop's hand. I found it out Scott was smiling in court. I agree, Lisa. When they were found guilty and then made a statement in the media that it was the greatest day ever, I totally agree. 120% agree. They didn't look for TH fingerprints, did they? No, they had to have. He could have gotten his finger. Falcon, I'm not getting into the whole glove thing again. The whole glove thing has been totally dismissed. There is no way he wore gloves. You wouldn't have gloves come out of that part. The podcast I listened to had a much better example. That was the glove thing is completely stupid because it makes no sense. Zelna cleared the cops of planting the blood. He did. She did. No, actually, Dirk, you're wrong. She cleared Manitowoc officers of planting evidence. She did. You have to be careful with the wording. She did not clear the Department of Justice. She did not clear Calumet County. She only cleared Manitowoc police. Big difference. The blood above the switch was planted just like Zellner said. She tried multiple times to reenact it, and that it just didn't work. Now, Chris, what I heard today in this podcast, which could be too, is that if you're not familiar with a car, very easily not know where to go, and your hand could slip. He's right. I've been in rental cars where my hands would slip in different spots. I totally agree with that theory, way more than a glove. But if your hand's going to slip, this is like my comeback. If your hands are going to slip, then then you know where blood was left and you would mark it off. You would erase it. So that was kind of one of those, they have an answer, but I have an answer for it right back. If you don't believe Avery did it, then it's reasonable to discuss the possibility that someone else did it. Absolutely, Katrina. That means discuss all aspects of the possibility of someone else's guilt. Absolutely. Beautifully said. Dirk Digger, at the very least, there was enough reason to look at Bobby as a suspect. Absolutely. There were a couple of suspects. There were Bobby, there was Scott, there was Mike, there was Ryan, and the whole Denny motion is bullshit. I don't even want to hear about it because it's nonsense. If Dumb and Dumber would have done their job properly, they could have gotten around that Denny motion with definitively Bobby and Ryan. Where did Colburn work? Colburn's Manitowoc. So we didn't plan it. No. According to Zellner, no. He didn't plant it. But Falcon, there's plenty of evidence to point away at somebody else. Plenty. It may not be physical evidence, like in the sense of Avery's fingerprints were on, the hood latch or whatever. Not fingerprints, but DNA, whatever it is. There may not be like overwhelming evidence, but there's plenty of evidence to point in other directions. Like what? How about the fact that what this guy found last night, what I was talking about in the video last night, that there was blood in Steven's car that didn't match Steven. It didn't match anybody in the Avery family. If you remember correctly, Bobby borrowed Steven's car, or Brian borrowed Steven's car, the Grand Am, the November 6th or 7th. Made a video about that too. So he lent his car to them. So it could have been Brian's DNA. Maybe Brian's the killer. I don't know. But there's other evidence to point away from Steven. Joe, that I don't remember. I honestly don't remember where he got the cut from. Which judge? This new one? Or the one? None of the judges. It doesn't even matter who you're talking about, Janet. None of the judges are good. They're all corrupt. They're all psycho. And they all have it out for him no matter what. Isaac was planning because if he killed TH, he would have gotten rid of the car and not make a half-assed attempt. I agree. That judge was like, the jury thought he was guilty. Oh, absolutely. Was TH's blood found in S.A.'s car? No, it was not. Judge was very biased. His mind was made up from the beginning. Everybody's mind was made up from the beginning, including the jury. And the judge now is no better. The judge now is horrendous. So what's your opinion on TH Day Planner? That's Allie Apperson's territory. And that whole day planner thing, I really don't give much credibility to, other than Orion found a car. To me, it's just not important. The day planner is important if you believe that Ryan's the killer. Then the day planner becomes important. If you don't believe Ryan's the killer, the day planner is pointless or means nothing. So how can you blame ON and DS? Who's ON and DS? JB and DS. Oh, Dumb and Dumber? Yeah, Dumb and Dumber. The reason why, Janet, is tell her happy birthday, Max Cobra. She's a Capricorn. She's awesome. Janet, to answer your question, how do I blame them? Because there was a Denny motion in place. Denny motions are extremely common in the state of Wisconsin. Denny motions stop bullshit accusations and reasonable doubt caused from bullshit accusations. Dumb and Dumber did not do enough research on this case, because if they did, they would have learned that Ryan fit the entire Denny criteria. Bobby fit the entire Denny criteria. And Ryan especially had motive. That was his ex-girlfriend. There's plenty of motive. When you look at it on paper, Ryan looked worse than Steven. But it didn't matter because they wanted Steven. So it absolutely didn't matter. That's the problem. And that's why Dumb and Dumber, if nothing else, Ryan was a suspect that met every single aspect of that Denny motion, and they didn't even bother. That's why I said that. Thank you, Amanda. Thanks, Holly. There was no evidence against either Ryan or BOD. Thanks, Chris. Falcon, you're wrong. Because I just give you an example in the last 2 weeks or 2 months. I'll name a couple of names. Chris Watts, Frazee. I mean, Chris, what's his name? That psycho freak that killed his whole family. I mean, there's no evidence against originally. There was no evidence against Chris Watts other than if he didn't tell, then there wouldn't have been evidence because nobody could find them. My point being is if you have circumstantial evidence when you're investigating something, that makes somebody a suspect. An ex-boyfriend who stalks you makes you a suspect. Absolutely. Falcon, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. Thanks, Scrags. Exactly. Lies are exactly right. Current or ex-boyfriends are always suspected. Always. Chris Watts is insanity. But it's something that you could have never seen coming. There's more concrete evidence on Bobby than... I agree, Lisa. I 100% agree. Being an ex-boyfriend is not evidence. How about an ex-boyfriend that stalks you? Go have your ex-girlfriend die. God forbid. But go have one of your ex-girlfriends die and watch how fast the cops come to your door. If your name is constantly brought up, if you were at her house, if you are the one that got her voicemails, if you were the one that started the search party, believe me, he was in her life. He wasn't an ex-boyfriend from 20 years ago. If I end up dead, I can guarantee you cops would be at my ex's door within an hour, even though he lives 5 states away. He would be the first one they went at. That's just how it is. But he wasn't cleared. And I'd have to prove I was here in my house 150. Exactly, Katrina. 150 just to ask questions. Exactly right. My girlfriend was murdered 100. Exactly. I'd be a valid suspect if the police were doing their job. Absolutely. I don't remember the name of the guy who killed his parents, but he was in college like 2 or 3 hours away. And he was a very rich kid. I can't remember the name of the kid, though, of the guy, but he was like 3 hours away or something. His parents and I think brother were killed. And, he was like, well, I was at college. There was something about a story that didn't add up, which they should have done to Ryan. But there was something about a story that didn't add up. And what happened was he then came home. The police learned that he came home, killed his parents, and then went back to college. It happens. What was that? Moan? What moan? Maybe my dog. Fact, I must not. All murders are committed by either a relative or... It's true. Yeah, Dirk, I don't understand what you mean. The computer means nothing. Approximately 1 metric ton more evidence against Avery than there is against either of those guys. How can you dismiss SA and think BOD? Easily. There's so many aspects to prove that Bobby Dassey is involved. Tons. I don't even have enough time to get into the whole list. But I can assure you I have about 12 videos explaining all of it. Do they have video? It was Bobby on the computer. Thank you, Katrina. Dirk, there has been proven by experts that Bobby is the only one that could have been on the computer. Could Bobby have had somebody in his house? Mike O. Mike O. Okay? Definitely Mike O could have been in this house because he was there every day. But as far as anyone else in the Brendan household or in the Avery household, no. It was only Bobby. Steven wasn't home. Hey, Jason. Yes, you did. We did talk about it. And then we got sidetracked. And then we talked about it again. Then we got sidetracked. Then we talked about it again. No approval, study patterns. Why do you think we extend child porn into pedophilia? Dirk, it hasn't been proven because nobody's gone after him. If you watch the video I did about Bobby and the Dietering conversation, that's absurd. Who has a conversation like that with a 19-year-old? He basically told Bobby, it's okay if you lie if you're protecting your family. Not a problem. There's a serious problem with that. Serious. Same of violent porn. It wasn't even hardcore porn. It was literally images of dead bodies and charred bodies. Bobby was 2 hours late for work that night. Did he give an explanation? No, he never did. He never had to, Joe. That's the problem. He was never asked to give an explanation. He never had to give an explanation. Nobody questioned him. They did in the beginning and then changed it. He's already evolved out of most porn genres. That's true. He was exonerated by DNA in the first. Because DNA is undeniable. You can't... It's hard with DNA. You can't deny it. It is what it is. It's set in stone. You only not that you couple that with hunting. But you can plan it. You can plan it. Which usually has a pattern of killing that you would see. How could you deny DNA? DNA is solid evidence. So it crossed those boundaries. Katrina, you're answering them very well. But they did everything they could to get that conviction. You can't deny that. Absolutely they did. Do you think Bobby was concerned about getting caught with the porn to confess? Bobby denied everything. But, you know, the one thing that you guilters are forgetting, and honestly, and you have to remember this in the back of your mind, nobody went after them for these things. So you're wondering why the police didn't do this, or why they didn't get in trouble for this, or why they didn't get in trouble for that. Nobody went after them. Zellner putting it out there like it's no big deal is not, or even that it's a big deal. Her announcing in MAM that Bobby was the murderer. All that's fine and well. But if the police aren't going after him for it, there's no point. So what you're seeing is you're not seeing the evidence, because you're not seeing the evidence because they don't have to show you the evidence. They don't have to go after him. That's what you guys are forgetting. I mean, like, think about it. And somebody told me that I'm wrong for this, but I don't think I am. I don't care what hunters say. Who the fuck goes out searching for roadkill? Like, go find your own deer and kill it. You have to be not on a normal level to go searching for roadkill to bring back to your house to skim. That's a little bizarre. I'm sorry, but that's bizarre. But I've been a true crime buff for years, and there was no mixing DNA, TH, and SA. Disregard if already discussed. Right, Spicy? It doesn't make sense. Like, who the fuck does that? And I've had hunters tell me they do, but all right, I lived in Iowa for 7 years. I knew plenty of hunters. They never did that. They went and got things that they could eat, that they could, you know, make something out of. They didn't go pick up roadkill. Exactly, Don. Who tags roadkill? Is there reports Chuck had broken glass on the 31st? And didn't they find broken glass at the quarry? I don't know, Jason. That was just in the report from last night. There's some stuff in the report there from last night that I don't know about. Honestly, if Bobby didn't kill TH and he's got problems and he's evolving into something, I agree, Katrina, but I'm pretty convinced he did. They haven't proven that Bobby was the one accessing the computer at a time when Seriously Sick porn was downloaded. This would have discredited him. Yeah, that's right, Joe. Yeah, Iowa. But seriously, though, I've never understood that. But, like, my question to Falcon and Dirk, forget the little things. Think about the big picture. Tell me how you convict somebody on a narrative that is such bullshit. You have to convict somebody on a narrative that fits, on a narrative that works. You can't convict somebody on a narrative that's completely fake. You just can't do it, and they did. That's part of the problem. Anyone ever come up with the handprints? John, I think it's Mike O. I've said that for a long time. I still think it's Mike O. Falcon is assuming the investigators are diligent. Thanks, Spicy. Spicy, you leaving? The bullet that had none of TH's DNA. No, I thought it did have some DNA. That is an extraordinary claim regarding extraordinary evidence. Blood of Falcon bedroom and garage. The kill sites according to KK. And convicted 2 different people of 2 different narratives for the same murder. That's what I'm saying, Tracy. All right, so Anita, you're saying that people actually look out for roadkill? But, okay, I can see if there was an accident. But do people actually drive around looking for roadkill? Because that's kind of sounded like what Bobby did. You know what? Hey, you guys were asking me about the martini glasses. If you see it's changed, it's supposed to get like bigger, but if you see it's changed, you can see that I've gotten subscribers over this call, over this announcement. I don't know why it didn't do the thingy. I am hot. When I got KZ, must have AOL messages that prove Bobby. I agree. Whoop. I would not rule out Bobby at all. There are some of subscribers here. Subscribers through YouTube. Now I lost my train of thought. There are interviews. I don't know if they're taped interviews, but there's a lot of interviews of Bobby with Dietering. Mike is Teresa's brother. Yes. When you register a deer, what info do they ask for? I wouldn't even know, Monica. In Alaska, if you hit animal, you call cops right away. Shit, in New York, you hit an animal, you just move on. Wow, you guys are nice. Here you hit an animal and nothing happens. You just go about your day. They donate meat. Ew, donate meat from roadkill? That's disgusting. Who donates meat from roadkill? Especially a moose? I don't know. I've never been in a state that killed a moose. If an endangered species jumps in your car and commits suicide, it's still a crime? Wow. Moose chili. I guess I don't know anyone who does look for roadkill, but I know cops will give out tags to people who ask for them. Okay. So blood was only found in RAV4. Yeah, there was no blood anywhere else. Roadkill is good for like 24 hours. Ew. I don't know. I think roadkill, I think like, raccoons and like little roadkill. Roadkill makes good stew. Ew, Joe, that's gross. I also want to collect a roadkill to practice on taxidermy. Katrina, that I can see. What are your thoughts on Barb's involvement in the whole thing, covering for her kids? John, I absolutely believe that Barb sold Brendan out originally to cover for Bobby, and I don't think she's ever changed. And someone else jump in and help me with Dirk. Arms getting sore. Karen, it's funny that you say that because I was just going to say, guys, if you don't want to keep... I feel like we're going around and around and around. As much as I love Falcon and I love Ben, who's a.k.a. Dirk, and I have no problems with them at all, I feel like they're taking up too much of the chat with the going around the same bullshit. So you guys direct questions at me. You don't have to keep answering them because it's just a never-ending circle of the same stuff. I feel like we're not progressing. I don't eat roadkill. You're welcome, Liza. I still love you, Ben. I do. I really do. Dear boy. Ew, gross, Don. That's disgusting. Who would eat deer balls? Gross. That's nasty. Falcon, you don't have to leave. I'm just saying that it's taking up everything. If I go on the same round and around and around and around, it's not getting anywhere. Thank you, Falcon. You never know. I'm sure deer balls is a delicacy somewhere. I'm just saying it's probably deer balls maybe a delicacy somewhere. Who knows? One never knows. People eat Rocky Mountain oysters, which is sheep ball. Ew. There was someone mentioned Bobby was late to work that night. Tim, 2 hours late is what I don't remember exactly. It is so not Max Cobra. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember reading it a long time ago. But I couldn't tell you if it was an hour, 2 hours. But I do remember he was late for work. I remember vaguely that he showered after hunting or after, no, because you would shower after work. I don't remember if it was like he showered after his nap instead of, or he showered when he came home from his nap. I don't remember. It's something weird. He said before he went hunting. Thank you, Fun. I couldn't remember. That Bobby said he showered before hunting. Who showers before hunting if you're going hunting? Just the whole thing didn't make sense. Exactly. Who showers before honey? It's stupid. It is pointless. It's like showering before you're going to work out. Why? Roadkill Cafe. I don't think that's legit, though. I don't think they really have roadkill. That'd be nasty. Oh. Maybe, Mike. Maybe. Maybe he thought the deer would like to shower gel, possibly. Jeff, what'd you write? Oh, I believe you. But they don't actually serve roadkill. I would hope not. Well, you should put on deodorant before the gym. You're going to sweat, so you don't want to be stinky. Unless showering through yourself the essence of nature, you're just replacing one human odor with another. I hunted my life, never shower before a hunt. Deer smell scent 2 miles away. Good one, Don. Actually, showering before hunting, it eliminates all scents, cologne, deodorants, etc. No shower before hunting because scent is not good. Sorry about roadkill comment. All right, so now we have a mixing. So do you take showers before hunting or do you not? Kevin, you absolutely put on deodorant before you go to a gym. You don't have to shower, but you want to put on deodorant. I know, right, Liza? Unless you're using unscented soap. So there is a poll, though. So what do we want to do? Do we take a shower before hunting? Or do we not take a shower before hunting? No shower. The Bobby Dassey interview with his was the worst. With Dietering? Has Bobby been questioned by sheriff since making murder? I don't think so, DJ. I shouldn't say I don't know. I honestly don't know. With this timeline, I don't get how he even had time to kidnap, rape, shot her in the head, and no one except Brendan hears a scream. Absolutely. Totally agree with that, Janelle. Deer urine before hunting and then shower after success. Okay. No shower, no shower. Thank you, Nicola. Think shower before hunting depends on your activities prior to hunting. If you smell like pizza from work, you may want to rinse it off. Good point, Tim. Dough and heat. I don't hunt either. Dieter re-interviewed Bobby at his house. You know, why is it always Dietering? This is the other thing that bothers me. Is there no other cop on duty besides Dietering? Why is Dietering on Bobby's shit nonstop? There is something to that. I don't know what it is. There's something to it. It's another thing that I have, and I just can't figure out why. And Dirk, it's funny that you say that because when you look at my YouTube stats, 60 to 70% of my audience, according to YouTube, is male. But my live is more women. So I don't know where they get the stats from. It is an instinct I have. And my instincts are usually on point. I've been pretty good with my instincts. Lisa, I'm not sure about that. I'm honestly not sure. I know a lot of them came out of retirement. I don't think Dietering did, but I don't know. They're afraid someone new would uncover something. It's very possible. But I just find it so odd that Dietering was on Bobby's dick like no other cop could even possibly speak to Bobby. It was all Dietering on every single interview. He's implying that we all have a thing for Avery or have a soft spot that defies reason. No, not that, Katrina. He's just being a jerk. Actually, as a matter of fact, though, it has been proven that women, mothers especially, do have an internal instinct that men don't have, an internal instinct that is unexplainable. That has been proven scientifically. So there. Women sense danger better. No, I'm telling you, I read this a long time ago. It is a scientific fact that women have a maternal instinct that cannot be explained. Which I know is kind of like an oxymoron, but that's what it said. Ellie was closing in on BOD and then suddenly changed to SA. Absolutely, Janet. Sympathy pains are definitely for my children. If they're really hurt, I'm going to hurt. I don't know if I'd have sympathy pains for somebody else, but my kids, even my dogs, I'll have sympathy pains for. Yeah, that's part of Datsy support mothers. That's it, Dirk. I didn't say every woman has them. Women use both sides of brains when men use one. Men use their brain? I thought they only used their pee-pee. Thank you, Tim. We have to have it. I was talking to Ryan about this earlier today. Like, this is totally off conversation. But to really, like, think about it. Like, just sit back and think about everything that's in your body. Everything, your bones, your blood vessels, your every part of your internal body is created inside of a uterus. Just think about that for a second. That has to give us superpowers in some which way, shape, or form. It just does. I mean, if you think of everything that's involved in a human, from the brains to the blood vessels to the bones to the like vertebrae to everything is created inside of a body, is a pretty whoa like moment. And to me, yeah, that gives me extra superpowers. So just my thought. Exactly, Chris. It's not cuckoo, it's true. Absolutely, Katrina. We are Wonder Woman. Woohoo! Manka Parma is only concentrate on one thing at a time. Women can think about 78 things at a time. Oh, and we do. I know I do. But it's just crazy if you think about it. Girl power is right. But if I can create a body and everything in a body inside me, I have a maternal instinct. We're like an internet browser with 1,000 tabs open. Exactly. Add ADD on top of that, and oh boy. Oh, Dietering did come out of retirement. Thank you, Lisa. So whoever said it, yeah, you were right. Dietering did, in fact, come out of retirement just to speak to Bobby. Did you see my comment about the teeth? No, I didn't actually. Let me find it. I hate when I miss comments. The thing that happens to the teeth is called calzyme when burning X. So that's the thing around the teeth that I was talking about last time? Like after the enamel? Thank you. And I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but calcyme, there is in your teeth, you have the enamel, then you have this layer of calcyme, and then you have another layer. Teeth do not burn. For them to find a quarter of a tooth is ludicrous. It would not have burned. And the X is a kiss. Mwah! Kiss right back. Is currently more convincing than for his guilt. Oh, assessment at this time based on the information made available to me through public resources leads me to believe the evidence for his innocence. Very well said, Katrina. I like you, Katrina. Really, Dietering came out of retirement also. What a flippin' shame. Yeah, I'm telling you, Dietering was on Bobby's dick. If you read the whole interviews and all the testimonies, no way. There's just no way this happened the way they are saying it. There's just no way. They didn't find out. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can't even burn the teeth, and it didn't matter. Do teeth burn up during a cremation, or what happens to those then? They say the teeth don't burn. What I did read at one point is someone can smash them, like after they're, like burned for a while, though, you can smash them and then it crumbles. But a lot of people like to keep their teeth in the urn. I don't know. It's a show I saw on it. They put them through a grinder. I also heard you could smash them if they're burning a long time, though. Hard bones like pelvis, skull would be hardest. They have to be crushed. It's information from my local funeral home. Teeth take too long to burn. Even cremators, exactly. I'm just sitting on the couch, but put on deodorant because I feel like maybe I'm gross. Because I have not been hygiene conscious about the gym. Kevin, you're funny. Bobby and Scott scattered everything around her. I was talking about Stephen Avery. Walking on Sunshine. That's why they were so Neanderthal jaws. Yeah, I mean, these are certain questions. No offense to anyone who lives in Wisconsin. Seriously, no offense. But these are the questions that bother me about the jury and how they were convicted on this. Did nobody question that teeth don't burn? And they say that your spine won't burn in an open fire, no less? If you can't do it in a crematory, how would you do it in an open fire? It's just nonsense. I wonder if Avery put on deodorant before he killed the cat. Oh my God, Dirk. Indeed, Katrina, she didn't get it. Didn't get what? Walking on Sunday. I didn't get it. And you're so right about teeth. Yeah. And if it can't do it in a crematory, it's certainly not going to happen in an open fire pit. When I come across this, I almost always from Wisconsin. That is true, Heather. That's very true. And the other thing I was thinking too, and I'm not getting into politics at all whatsoever, but I wonder how many are guilters or Republicans as compared to Democrats. I thought of this the other day. I was like, that would be an interesting poll to see which side believes he's more guilty and more innocent. There are some parts where people are just so close-minded. It will blow your mind. Really? Right, Heather? I say the same thing. I believe Falcon's a Democrat or a Republican. I don't remember. I said that was why there were so many Neanderthal jaws still around. Then said, like, Dirk. Understand something about Dirk. You know, like, you have that ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend that you know was bad for you, but you can't stay away from them, and you just adore them? That's how Ben feels towards me. He can't stay away. He hates me. He loves to hate me, but he can't stay away. Thanks, Brad. Because that's how they identify bodies. Exactly. Teeth and dental records. Exactly, Nicola. Gilter's right wing. I'm Republican Trump. Tim, I can relate. I'm in Tennessee. My boyfriend's Republican. He doesn't think S.A.'s guilty. Republican. Thank you, Joseph. All right, so maybe not everybody, but it was just something I thought of. I wonder who's Democrat, who's Republican. Because Wisconsin is such a Republican state. You stand corrected about what, Kyra? I did watch The Innocent Man, Don. It could not hold my interest at all. I tried so hard. It would not hold my interest. I think you have more accurate sliding scale if you did based on how those individuals felt about police. I don't know, Katrina. I'm very for police. Like, for the most part, I am absolutely 100% for police. Tim, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Heather, I tried 1,000 times. 1,000 times. Tim, by Sunday, I'll have all the Patreon stuff worked out and probably do a podcast. It's just so new. You too, Chris. I'm going to shut down in a few minutes anyway. This has been going 2.5 hours already. I can't believe how long these lives go. Hit like before you go. I can't even see the likes. On the screen I'm on, it doesn't even show them. You can use your community tab for poll questions. What community tab? Oh, I see. Whoa, bah! What'd I do? Whoop. Sorry, guys. I left for a minute. I hit the community tab, and I lost you guys. Yeah, I tried really, really, really hard to get into Innocent Man. I couldn't do it. It was like The Keepers. I couldn't get into The Keepers either. I watched like a half an episode. I know, right, Heather? Like where I come from, it is to me believable police would frame someone. Places where the police are more trustworthy would need more convincing. It's possible. No, he didn't get booted. It was totally my fault. You can announce things on the tabs and polls. I'll have to look into that. There's a lot of stuff I need to look into. I'm starting to think the bones are from 2 bodies. I don't know. Caught your guilt and didn't even know it. Sorry I've been in and out, but I hope you had a wonderful birthday. Thank you, Valerie. Got it, I missed the live. Email you when I get around to it. Have a wonderful birthday. Thank you, Nicola. I just want to see if anybody would say anything. Oh my God, you're terrible. I changed it. think 99% of cops are good, but just like with all jobs, I agree with that 100%, Heather. 100%. That there is good and bad in all professions. Off to bed. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, Phyllis. The staircase I liked, but I think he's guilty as fuck. You didn't answer even though I checked the 6 month on Patreon. Can I change the amount later? Yes. I didn't answer what though. Don't forget I blinked out for a minute. Shani, yeah, you can change it, you can cancel it, you can do anything. Don't ask me how yet, because I don't know. But I know you can. Carmen's bones were used to be Teresa's bones by the cops. They needed a body to pose as a missing girl. I don't know. That I don't believe crazy. I asked you if we can increase amount. Yeah, you can. I think you can. Yeah, because I know you can lower it too. So if you can lower it, you can definitely add it. Teresa's body may have been burned in quarry. Carmen's bones were burned at funeral home. Are you going on Casey Anthony reality show? I'm trying to get Casey Anthony on here. But honestly, though, you guys should really listen to this podcast. I hate promoting it because it's guilters, and they believe that he's guilty, but it's a really good podcast. Really, just really good. It's hard to watch MAM and not believe there were giant incentives to frame Steven. Of course there were. There were huge incentives to frame Steven. Huge. And it all started with Kosarik and Bushman. Hands down, 110%. And nothing will make me change that. There are a lot more people watching this. Yeah, I do have a link. Hold on. Hey, Brian. Here it is. Now, there's 3 parts. There's 3, part 1, 2, and 3. I only am showing 3 because that's the one I had pulled up. Dot, it's a podcast I spoke about earlier. It's 2 forensic scientists that are debunking Zellner's theories. But what I liked about it, even though I didn't totally agree with some of it, even they believe that nothing fits the narrative of Kratz, but they really make logical sense of certain things. And again, I don't agree with everything because I could debunk some of their theories, but some of their theories do make sense. It is worth watching, right, Karen? I thought so too. It's very intelligently done. It's not like, Gilter saying, oh, you're an idiot or anything like that. Like, they know all of Zellner's experts. They give credibility to all of Zellner's experts. It's, Brian, thank you. It's really, it's just a good podcast. Thank you so much, Brian. That is awesome. Thank you. I can't believe I'm 2 years away from 50. They did, Brian. They were tipping me earlier. It's Abba, you know what? It really was an intelligent look at the case. There are certain things I didn't agree with, like the one I said before about the car. But I do agree with him. When I get in a rental car, I don't know the car. I don't know where anything is. So if Steven wasn't familiar with the RAV4, that would make sense. How I kind of debunk that, though, Steven had a car lot of 5,000 cars. The man has probably been in every fucking car under the sun, including RAV4s. So that's the only reason why I don't believe that logic makes sense, because I'm sure Steven's familiar with every single car there is out there. Thanks, Heather, but I'm 48 today. I'm so old. Like I said, I really felt it when I was in the store with my daughter and all these like 21-year-olds. Then I look in a mirror. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so old. And I look at dark and unfamiliar, Dirk, granted, but how do you know it was dark? Nobody said she died at nighttime. Supposedly she died during the day. So it wouldn't have been dark. Kyra, then he knows. He's going to feel the pain of being 48. $51, I'm catching up. I'm almost there. But a certified mechanic, even if it was dark, you drive, most key wells are the same. That's what I'm saying, Katrina. That's why I kind of debunk that. And that's why I want to get them on for an interview. Because I just think that, it's an easy debunk. But I get what they're saying. And I agree with them. And if it was like me going into a different car. But being that it was them in a different car, it just, something's not right. You know, he's been in so many cars. And even then, most of us are familiar with those two configurations. Most confusion I've seen people have is actually with push to starts. That's true too. You have to show me how to pip in my lives. Oh, you have to have that number sign. I don't do anything for it. When I was on your live, Brian, I didn't see you have one. I thought it's automatic. Are you monetized? Do you monetize lives? I think you have to monetize lives. I don't know. That's why. Because you're not monetized. I don't think you can get super chat if you're not monetized. I don't have birthdays anymore. Now I just celebrate the anniversary of my birthday. Next month, I'll be celebrating the 7th anniversary of my 27th. You're still young, Heather. I miss my 30s. They said it was SA blood in the RAV4 that convinced them. Jeff, almost every single guilter says that it's the blood in the RAV4. They said, could think of 1,000 ways to get the blood pattern near ignition. Let's see them reproduce anything similar to that. Agreed. So, Jeff, I'm assuming when you say they mean you're talking about the podcast. But just, that's what I'm saying. I would debunk some of it, but some of it really does make sense. On the Corbin call where he was calling the plates, what did he say reason was? Good night, Crystal. What did he say his reasoning was for calling the plates since he wasn't in by the vehicle? He never really said. He just said that he had her license plate number or something. Pam of God, absolutely. Let's do 1,000 tests. Falcon's back. Falcon, you should really watch this podcast. I think you would enjoy it. So who planted the blood? That remains to be seen, Dirk. Nobody seems to know who planted the blood. And honestly, we may never know who planted the blood. We honestly may never know. Unfortunately. But guys, I am going to cut this. I am getting super, super tired at 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I still got to upload everything. But my little guy is coming home sometime this weekend. So I'm either going to do a video on Saturday or Sunday, depending on when he comes home. I'll probably do it Sunday night. So we can definitely continue this. Guys, I had a wonderful birthday. I want to thank all you guys for coming. All of your donations, all the tips, new subscribers, new Patreons. And guys, I promise by Sunday, I'm going to have his Patreon thing worked out. I'm going to figure out everything that it does. And we're going to have some fun. And again, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Missy. I don't know what happened to Phoebe. She was here for like a minute and then I saw her disappear. 48 is a new 38. Right on, Kyra. Thank you, Katrina. You were great, too. And Brian, thank you so much. I watched a video where someone thought Pam Strong planted the blood. No, that's stupid. Who the hell said that, John? That would go up there. It's one of the dumbest theories I've ever had. That Pam planted blood. Good night, Shauna. Before I go, though, I want to know who said that, John. No, not lots of cake. I started keto this week, and I gained 2 pounds. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going back to Weight Watchers. Falcon would love the podcast. John, come on. Who said it? Thank you, Jeff. John's going to disappear now. He's going to totally disappear. He just said he saw a video where somebody said it. Need taquito on Sunday. Kyra, I suck at it. This is the 3rd time I've tried, and I've gained weight every fucking time. I'm done trying. I'm like the heaviest I've ever been. And so everyone talks keto. And they say, oh, you'll gain in the beginning. I don't want to gain in the beginning. I'm done. So I'm going back to Weight Watchers, but I will gladly talk about it. I will look it up. I can't remember. Okay, please do. I'm telling you, so am I. And I've tried it, and it's not working. Keto is no bueno. Moderation is key. It's not working for me. I tried everything. It's just not working. I followed it to a T. I did nothing wrong, and I gained 2 pounds. Not happening. Keto keeps getting harder over time. I just want to lose it. Yeah, Miss Fitz is vegan. Thank you, Lisa. All right, guys. I will see you guys Sunday. I will gladly talk about Sunday. Mass Cobra, it's over. I'm done. We're going on almost 3 hours already. I'm tired. I just stopped eating and take my Adderall. Works like a charm. Katrina, I take 60 milligrams of Adderall every day for the last 10 years. I'm still gaining weight. So I know some of it has to do with being 48. But yeah, doesn't work for me. Falcon, thank you so much. That was unexpected. Falcon, that was really, really nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on 60 milligrams a day, and it doesn't matter. I'm still gaining weight. Coffee and Newports. How do I get 60? You know what? Funny story, Kyra, before I go. This is actually kind of funny. My ex, the one psychopath, actually got me hooked on Adderall many, many years ago. And I took it, and I felt good on it, and I was losing the weight from having a baby. So then, like, I forgot what happened, but he stopped getting them, or, you know, people wanted too much money for them. So he's like, go to a doctor and get them. I'm like, how am I going to get them? He's like, just move your legs a lot or whatever. Like, you know, shake them, act like you can't sit still. So I looked up all the signs. Okay, get the prescription. Like 5 years later, when going through his custody fight, I start seeing a shrink because my lawyer said you need to see a shrink, whatever. So as we're going through the paperwork, as I'm looking at the paperwork that I had to give to my lawyer, he actually writes severe ADD or ADHD. I'm like, oh my God. See, I faked it in the beginning and now I totally have it. So it was kind of funny. But yeah, Adderall makes me sick. I don't know how you guys can take it. I get nausea. And really? No, I could not live without it. I did manifest my reality. No joke. It was just kind of funny, though. But Adderall's been good for me. Adderall has stopped an eating disorder. Granted, I got fat, but it's really helped me in a lot of ways deal with some of my past problems. I'll leave it at that. Max Cover, you're a liar. I take 30 during the day. I mean, I can take 30. I can totally take 30. But it gets me through, like, if I'm running low or something. But 60, I pop 2 in the morning and I'm good to go. 6 in alcohol in the middle time. I like you, Katrina. 30 milligram, not tablets. No, I take the generics. Muscle weighs more than fat. You must be gaining. No, I'm not gaining muscle. I'm fat. Check your body fit and clothes. You need to manifest $1 million in your bank account. That's true. Like, that's so funny. Would I rather have money or would I rather be thin again? I think I'd rather be thin again. I can get money after. I can get money when I'm thin again. I mean, I'm not like fat, but I have to lose like 50 pounds. Money. Because you think money you can then buy being thin. But I could be rich and I still wouldn't be as happy as when I can walk into a store and try and wear anything. But that's my own, sickness, if you want to call it. My issues. So, I had an eating disorder, but never treated for it. I was treated for it many of times. And Adderall really did help me get through it. I mean, it honestly did. It was my saving grace. All right, Kyra. I like having twins. I have twins. But yeah, it's Adderall's been my saving grace. It does something mentally that it doesn't make me. See, Kyra? 60 milligram, 40 Celexa. I don't know what Celexa is. Kyra, I even stopped taking Prozac. When I went to rehab for bulimia, like my parents stuck me in rehab for it, I stopped taking Prozac because I was read in a magazine sitting there that you can get fat from antidepressants. Well, hell no. I ended up selling them to people in my rehab. Bye, Katrina. Yeah, antidepressants will make you fat. Bye, Heather. Yeah, I'm out too. We are officially almost at 3 hours. But we could discuss all this Sunday. I will speak to you guys on Sunday. Sunday or Monday. I don't want to give a guaranteed Sunday just in case my son comes home Sunday night. But definitely Sunday or Monday, I will definitely do a live. All right? So you guys have an absolutely fantastic night. And Mass Cobra, I will check it in a second. You guys have an absolutely fantastic night. Thank you guys so much for spending time on my birthday. It was great. And I love all you guys. And I will see you guys on Sunday or Monday. And I'll probably do another video probably tomorrow if I get a chance. All right? So I will see you guys soon. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.